Welcome to Brobench release recap version 4.3 named Draco. Draco is a constellation in the northern sky and it stands for dragon, and it is one of the major constellations in there, and it was discovered a long time ago. Okay. So we have a lot of exciting features in this release 4.3 and let's get going. Okay, so the first up we have an event monitor. So event monitor, it helps you monitor various events that is published in Salesforce, including standard as well as custom events and as well as CDC events. So you can go subscribe to one or more after creating the request. So let's go and subscribe and replay some old events. Then once you subscribe, it's going to show all the events, that is as and when they're delivered. And then you can click one of them and see the payload details of that. And then you'll be able to export all the details. And then as well as we have this timeline view, if you have multiple subscriptions, it will show as a bubble timeline all the events that are delivered that are in this particular grid. And then you'll be able to see what timeline and how when they are delivered. Okay, so this is the event monitor. Okay, so the next step, we have a search module. Search module helps you search for various objects. The data within the various objects is basically a UI for a social search with some augmentation to be able to display the data easily and so on and so forth. By default, it actually defaults to the user. So when you go here and search for a particular user, it's going to show, it's going to search and show the details. And then after that, you can act on these records as with any data grid, including editing them or deleting them or updating them or what have you. Okay, so and if you have if you search for a user, it's going to show the user login here. This we're going to talk about as enhancements, but we have the record actions, and you'll be able to take actions right from here. Next step, we have an org monitor. Org monitor is a collection of tools to help you monitor on a day-to-day activities in Salesforce. So we have an org limits that shows all the limits in a particular org, what it is. And then we have a setup audit as well as a login history search. You can go here and you can enter various criteria, and then you'll be able to search the setup audit details. Similarly, you can search the login history for various criteria in that. And then of course, you can export this data for your analysis and use whatever the reasons. So the next step, we have the deploy results. So this is another tool, so where it shows all the deployments that have been made in that particular org, and then you can click one of them and see the full details, including the component that are included or the test that is covered, as well as the coverage details if there is any. Okay, we do have a code coverage. It shows all the code, all the Apex classes, and then corresponding code coverage details in there. So if you click on a particular class and if it has any coverage, it will be able to show the test classes covering that particular class, and then you will be able to see what tests you need to use to get a coverage when you're deploying, for example. Okay, so we are going to continue to enhance this and add additional tools and capabilities. And if you think some other tool for this particular module would be a value add, we are all ears. Okay, so the next step, we have a global value sets. Global value sets feature shows all the value sets in a particular org, and then when you click on it, it shows all the Picklist values defined for that particular value set. You can select one or more to see all of them together for analysis. Okay, you can also edit the changes from here or Picklist values so that you can bulk add them and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is the global value sets feature. So next step, we have a pick list by the record type. So record type combined with a pick list is one of the most complicated and then confusing management aspect. So because there's a lot of different levels of information, and how the Salesforce built it or lets you manage it is not that user intuitive as well. So the pick list by the record type would help you visualize that complexity, the complex data in a more meaningful way, as well as make changes to it. So you can navigate there, you can go to object and click on the pick list, and then when you go there, it's going to fetch all the details and show the details of the pick list. And when you select one of them, and it's going to show all the details of that particular pick list laid out with the record types as a various columns, and then pick list values as a various rows. And then it's going to highlight all the different ways, different combinations are assigned. For example, in this case, the chemicals and the customer record type, it's the default. Okay, but for others, it is just assigned, and for the state, it is not assigned, for example. So you can search here, you can search for the pick list and the record type, as well as you can make changes, right? You can click here, let's say if you want to unassign, You can make changes to it, and then you can go ahead and save those changes. Okay, so that is a pick list by the record type. Next step, we have a CSV Viewer. So there are a lot of great tools to edit the CSV in the desktop, Excel, Numbers, and Google Sheet, what have you. But if you're dealing with a huge amount of CSV data, like a lot of records, it may be a little bit slow to visualize. And if you just quickly want to look for something, it may be overkill. So we have built this CSV Viewer quickly, and you can select some file, and then you'll be able to visualize that. So let's go open up one of them. So it is about 8 MB, maybe about 50,000 records. Okay, so you can see that it opens quickly, and then you'll be able to scroll, and then you'll be able to search, and then see the data quickly here. So we have tested this up to 1 million rows, but keep in mind it varies based on your system resources. Okay. And it also actually allows you to enter CSV content here. So if you have a content copied from somewhere, you don't have to save it to be able to open it somewhere. You can just come here and enter the content. Okay. So that is a CSV Viewer. Okay. So the next step, we have a package XML builder. So I can go here, open this, and then click on the package XML. It shows, when you go there, it shows all the different metadata types that you have in your org, and then you can add them directly to the package XML, and it shows the package XML that's being built on the right. If you see here, we have wherever we have a plus, it means they support the wildcard retrieval. So you can just click on plus, that'll add as a wildcard. Or if you want to see individual specific classes, you can click on this, and then it shows the classes or individual component of that particular type, and then you'll be able to make changes to that as well. So by default, it shows by the modified date, so that you can easily pick one, but otherwise you'll be able to pick one of those. Okay. Once you have it, you can copy them. You can also copy as other format, like a Markdown or a JSON, however you wish to do it. So we do have this package parser, merger, and the cleaner. So this particular tool in the package XML module helps you merge two different XMLs, right? So you can enter multiple XMLs, and then it's going to show the combined XML here, as well as it parses that. So let's go here, copy this one XML, okay, and come here and enter, and you'll see that, and then it actually shows the parsed one, which you can use it to copy in other formats for your publication or tracking or what have you. Okay, so that is a package XML module. Okay, so next step, we have a login as enhancements. So we talked about in the search, right? So when I search for a particular user, so now we added the actions right here. You can do login as, so that actually opens within this window, but you can also do login as in an incognito window so that you don't lose the current session that there is, as well as you can actually click on view login as a URL. And once you do that, it will actually show the URL like that, which you can open in a different profile within the same browser. Okay, or you can copy the URL, paste into different browser altogether to be able to log in as that user, or you can just click there to be able to easily copy that particular URL. Okay, so these are login as enhancements of the user, and this login as enhancement shows in various places. For example, it also shows up when you view a particular record. Okay, so let's say we can click on this user, and then you can see here the same option shows up here, as well as we have a global, we have added a global menu for this particular user. So you can click on users, and then you can see all the different options, so that when you open a pop-up launcher, you really don't have to navigate anywhere. If you have already did a login as for a particular user, you can just click right here, and then go and then do login as in a different window. Okay, so that is a login as user enhancements in Brobench. Next up, and the last one but not least, we have a connection menu enhancements. So this particular menu is called a connection menu, whereas this menu is called application menu. So this menu has been enhanced to be able to edit your profile language of the current user. So you can just select here which are the language that you want, and then it will be updated. Okay, so then if you're testing, in Salesforce, you want to test the user interface in a different, maybe your localization in a different language, what have you, you can easily switch to different languages to be able to search it. Okay, so those are all the different things we have in this release. I hope you like it, and we are always welcome. We always welcome your feedback. So please repost and then comment. Thank you.